And now it's time for a preview of an upcoming game by Tom
Today
Vasel.
we're taking a look at a two-player game called Dungeon Heroes. Now this is made by Crash Games. They have made the two-player abstract Rise that many people have played. This is their third Kickstarter campaign. And Dungeon Heroes is essentially another two-player abstract game with a theme of heroes. One player is going to play 4 heroes that are going and trying to get treasure. The other person is playing the Dungeon Lord, who's going to do his best to demolish and destroy them and make their lives generally miserable by ending them. The board for Dungeon Heroes is a 6x6 grid with 4 spaces over here for your 4 heroes to begin on, and 4 spaces over here which collectively form the treasure room, and 1 treasure tile is placed there. A whole bunch of other tiles, including treasures and monsters and traps and things, are placed face down over here. And let's take a look. These here are 4 heroes, and one player is going to be the heroes. That player is going to have a wizard, a warrior, a cleric, and a rogue, your 4 main types of characters. And the other person is going to play the Dungeon Lord, and they will control all the monsters that are on these tiles. Now the goal for the good guys is to find 3 treasures. There's 1 here, so if they can get over here they can get that one. But there's also 3 more here, so there's 4 total. They need to get 3 of those to win the game. For the Dungeon Lord to win, he simply has to kill these heroes. Each hero is represented by a die, and that die is showing their hit points. You can see the rogue here starts with 6 hit points, the cleric with 8, the warrior with 10, and the 0 is 10 on the 10-sided die, and then the wizard with 4. Now, the first 9 turns of the game, the Dungeon Lord has what are called passive turns. That means he's basically going to take 4 of these tiles, place them on the board. Well, he'll look at them first to see what's on the tiles. He will place these tiles basically anywhere he wants on the board, and his turn's over. The good guys, on the other hand, the heroes, they also have 4 actions that they can take in their turn. They can give up to 2 of those actions to 1 hero, or they can split them in any other way they want, 1-1-1-1, or 1-2-1, or 2-2. It's up to you. One of your actions can simply be moving. Now, all the pieces can move up, down, left, and right, but the rogue and the wizard can also move diagonally when they're making a move. If they move onto a tile, you will turn that tile over and resolve whatever is on the tile. The cleric also has a special ability where if he is wounded or someone next to him is wounded, he can use an action to increase their hit points by 2. The rogue disarms any traps that he lands on, the warrior kills any monsters he lands on, and the wizard can use a special action to take any tile on the board and flip it face up so that you can see what it is. So let's take a closer look at these tiles. First, we have monster tiles. Each of these monster tiles has a certain number of hit points of damage it will do. So if you move onto a monster tile, it will do that much damage to you. If a warrior moves onto a monster tile, well then they'll kill the monster tile. Then we have trap tiles. Trap tiles will also do damage to you if you move on them. However, the difference between a trap tile is if you move onto it, it will do damage to you and then the trap is gone. You've sprung the trap. If the rogue moves onto a trap, then the trap is gone. And traps can do all sorts of damage to the different heroes. There is one thing, a poisonous cloud, that's not technically a trap, so the rogue will get killed by that instant death to whoever walks on it. There's actually 2 of those in the game, so the hero has to be very careful that they don't walk onto these poisonous clouds. Other things, I mentioned that there were more treasure tiles. There's a shifting floor. If you step onto that, you immediately must move to one of the spots where the arrows point, and then the floor is gone. So when the Dungeon Master puts it down, he can rotate it to see which way he wants those 2 arrows to point. There's a portal. If you step on the portal, you go back to start, which can be good or bad depending. And then there are these 4 special things that heroes can find, like a rusted sword. A hero can use that to kill 1 monster. Trap kit, you can use that to disarm a trap. When you get one of these, you will place it next to your hero here, just so I can show that my wizard here has the rusted sword, or the warrior got the trap kit. As the game goes by, some things are going to be revealed as the game goes by and be taken off the board, but there will be a lot of unrevealed tiles on the board because you just don't have time to reveal all that. But eventually, after 9 turns, the boss, the Dungeon Lord, is going to run out of passive turns. No more tiles to put on the board. At that point, he will start using actions to reveal monsters on the board. He will look at the hit points. For example, this one takes off 6 hit points, and he will put a red token on the board that matches the hit points shown on that tile. So he'll put that there instead. And from now on, for an action, he can move a monster 1 space, and then it can attack anybody who is adjacent to it. And some monsters can even move diagonally, the little goblins. And so after those first 9 phases, the game gets a lot more dangerous for the heroes because monsters will start being revealed and moving around trying to kill them. Meanwhile, they're trying to scurry around as fast as they can to get this treasure and to find 2 of the other ones out there. Or you don't even have to get that one, you could find the 3 that are out there. And that's how you play. Now remember, as in all my previews, all what I just showed you, all those components are not final. Some of the stuff might be final, but they're going to be doing that with just a prototype to give you a feel of how the game looks. Dungeon Heroes is a very fast game. We're talking 20 minutes max. And there's a lot of the game is really a bit of a bluffing back and forth. Because it works like this. The game is, there's no randomness except for the way you draw the tiles. So as the Dungeon Lord, I draw 4 tiles and I get a treasure tile and a monster tile. So what do? Do I put the treasure in the back corner and surround it with monsters and traps? Because you know that's what I'm going to do, and so you head for the corner. But do I know that you know that I'm going to do that, and then stick the treasure right next to you, hoping that you think that it's the poisonous gas cloud and you're not going to find it? The heroes have to make some decisions. Are they going to use the wizard and start revealing as many tiles as they can with him, but taking up actions where they could actually be moving around? The Dungeon Lord has to be careful because the warrior is a really powerful figure. You can go around and kill your monsters, and at the end of the game, you want as many monsters as you can alive so that you can go around and beat up the heroes and kill them off. So basically, the main meat of this game is trying to outguess the other player and trying to outmaneuver the other player. It's not so much of a dungeon fight, you know, where you think of 4 heroes walking around and swords fight. No, instead it's a very calculated battle, and you're saying, okay, where did he put this stuff? Where are those things that are going to help me? And then where are the things that are going to hurt me? He just put a tile in front of me. Is that a trap? Can I handle it? While the bad guy is trying to think, how can I best put the things out to stop the hero from winning? What can I do to trick him or to fool him and trap his heroes in a place where I can kill them? So anyhow, if that seems like something that you'd be interested in, it's on Kickstarter right now. In just a moment, I'm going to show you a link where you can go there and back this game, Dungeon Heroes.
Thanks for watching our review today. For more information about board games, as well as the #1 board game audio podcast, check out Dicetower.com for reviews, interviews, and more. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.